Well, good morning, hope you're all doing well. So do you ever look at your own photos and think they're good but they're just not you? Well, today what I want to do is walk through how to create your own unique style that reflects your creative vision. So we'll go and have a walk, see what we can find, and on the way we'll discuss this. So let's get going. So what is style? Well, that's a question I asked myself a lot in the beginning, because I used to hear this term bandied about quite a lot at the start of my photography career, and I never used to really know what it meant, to be honest. I gathered that it was how you saw the world, but it was always confusing to me is how you would go about doing that, because it's such a personalised thing, and how do you create that? It's hard enough to try and create images without having to think to yourself, well, how do I create my own style and my own look? So it's more than just gear, although that can kind of give you a style. I mean, obviously I only use Fujifilm cameras at the minute, so they have a certain look. And then two different camera systems will have a different look too, so a medium format will look different to the APS-C X-T4 that I use as well. So yeah, there's little things like that within the gear that will help you have a different look, I guess. But it's more than that, and it's more than editing. It's really how you see the world. And that's really what your unique style is. It's how you see the world, how you interpret it, and what's interesting to you within that little world. So why does style even matter? Well, what it is it helps you stand out, and it helps you break through the noise of all the other photographers. There's lots of people that have similar styles, but then if people can look at your work and think, without even seeing a watermark, saying, well, that's Paul Thomson's work, or whoever it might be, that's huge. It's a big thing, because it means that people are recognising the way that you see the world and the way that you create your images and your look. So it's also like a cohesive look. So if you look through your Instagram feed and you look through it and it's all over the place, there's images of this and there's images of that, and there's certain colours going on here and then there's subtle colours going on down there, it looks a bit disjointed. Whereas once you develop that style, your images should kind of have that look about them. They should all be recognisable as one of yours, and they'll have a certain look, they'll have a certain feel, there'll be certain subjects that are always included, there'll be a certain editing style. It'll all make sense. So now we know what style is, how do we actually achieve it? So there is no substitute, and I mean there is no substitute for getting out there and shooting more. So shoot more and edit less. And what do I mean by that exactly? Well, the more you shoot, the more you will be in tune with what interests you, what subjects you like to photograph, what lighting conditions you like to photograph in. All of these little subtleties you'll get used to, and you'll only edit the images that feel like you. So that'll kind of push your style to the forefront. So you'll only end up editing the images that really are you and your vision. Now, the second thing you can do to evolve your style is to check out the work of others and people that really stand out to you as having their own unique style, and a style that you really enjoy. Now, that's not to say that you go and copy that style. You take bits from all of these little inspirations and make them your own. So you might take a subtle form from one artist and then blend that with another, and then add your own bits of flair in there as well. So that's not to say you're copying anything, it's just that you're taking inspiration from them. And it really helps you to kind of sort through what stands out to you as an image. what makes an image work for you, what kind of lighting conditions you really enjoy. All of these sort of things just really help to kind of focus you in on what inspires you and what gives you your style and your vision. So work with your limitations. That's another way that you can kind of style yourself, because you'll be limited to what gear you have, what lens choices you have available, the locations you can get to. You might have no transport, so you might be stuck in your local area and only able to shoot that. You might be limited to the time of day that you can shoot because you have kids at school. Whatever the reasons might be, all of those little things will help shape how you photograph and how you are seen to other people looking in at your work. So while we're touching on that scene, pick a mood and stick with it. So you might like bold contrastings, you might like subtle tones, you might like trees in your images, you might like moody skies, you might like water in your frames. Choose all these elements and stick by them. Don't be swayed by anybody else's opinion, because what really matters at this stage is what you believe in and what's a nice image to you, because it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. If it's not really kind of driven by you, then it's not going to be your own personal style. So stick with these things and live by them. So last of all, edit with intention. We all, when we first start out on Lightroom, play with all the sliders, see what we can get out of each image. But as time develops, I think it's really important to develop a style, and it's easy to do. Basically what you're doing is you stick with the process of editing and you don't change anything. I mean, obviously you can add effects that you might not use all the time, but you'll have a standard way to edit. And if you keep that consistent, if you keep that editing style consistent, that'll start to add to your style as well. So all of these things will link together. The way in which you shoot, the way in which you edit, the subjects that you shoot, all of this will combine to give you an overall style. Now with my own work, you'll notice that I've kind of developed a style, and I have a certain style of editing, and that is I don't over-process my images. I have a really simple editing process, and I run through the same technique every time. I love subtle colours. I don't over-process and give a really saturated look to my images if I can. In fact, a lot of the time I kind of dial everything back. Also, you'll notice there's a lot of recurring themes in my images. You'll see a lot of water. I'm really drawn to that. I love the ever-changing appeal of water, and there's so much you can do with it, with different shutter speeds, different ways you can shoot it, slowing it down, speeding it up. It's just ever-changing and really dynamic, so that often appears in my photography. The other thing you'll notice is I do a lot of woodland photography. That really appeals. Other things, I do like wide vista shots, but I also like the close-in detail shots, and the very odd wildlife image will creep in there as well. But I'm not a wildlife photographer, so I just put one in every now and then. But you'll notice even with the wildlife shot, it's got a consistent look to my edit. And that's the way that I've kind of developed, and it's taken me a long time to get to it. It's actually taken me a long time to realise that I actually have my own style. A couple of people have pointed out to me that, oh, that's a Paul Thomson image, and I'd never thought about it before. It's not something that had ever crossed my mind before, but it's just it's developed over time, and I think that's the key, is to just practice your craft, practice keeping everything consistent, and it'll come eventually, and you'll start to notice, one day it'll just click, and you'll start to notice that you have your own style. You'll also notice mountain images, and as far as light goes, you'll notice that I'm really drawn to dramatic light. I really love storm light. It's one of my favourite lights to shoot in. It's just got so much going for it, and it just captures the emotion that I want to be able to portray, and it's kind of part of my vision as a photographer. So my final thoughts are, It's finding your own style is something you find by doing and not for waiting around for it to happen. It's never going to happen by itself. You've got to basically keep working at it, keep progressing, and eventually you'll get there. You'll find your own style. The other thing is to trust your own instincts. It's really important that you don't be dissuaded by anybody else. Trust what you want to photograph. Trust what light you want to photograph in. Trust how you photograph. You've got to kind of believe in yourself that that's the way forward and that's your creative vision. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's video and you've got something out of it and you can start working towards that style. I'll be really interested to see where you are at finding your own style and your own way of working. Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video soon. Take care. Bye bye.